Welcome back to the Stirling Business Podcast from Studio King Street. I'm your host, Neil Munday. Today I have Kevin Harrison here to talk about the Stirling Culture Night on the 1st of May. So, Kevin, how are you? Welcome to the studio.
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me here. I've heard so much about the studio and been following the podcast, and it's quite something to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. No, so glad you could come along. Today we're here specifically to talk about Stirling Culture Night. But before we do that, why don't you introduce yourself and tell the audience how you're involved with the Culture Night specifically.
No problem, thank you. So I'm Kevin Harrison. I'm the director of Artlink Central, which is a local charity. And as part of our role supporting Stirling's cultural partnership, Scene Stirling, we're working with the council to coordinate and develop and programme Culture Night Stirling's first Culture Night, which is built off of some of the creative projects that happened during Stirling's 900th anniversary. And so our role is really around engagement, around supporting with programming, and we've been particularly leading on some of the community grant-based commissioning that's been happening as well as part of the programme.
Okay, so the genesis of this came from Stirling 900.
Yes.
So for those that aren't aware of Stirling 900, what was that specifically, and kind of how did that unfold?
Yeah, so Stirling 900 was Stirling's 900th anniversary as a royal borough, and it was an incredible year for Stirling in terms of reach to tourists, to the wider, wider offer as Stirling as a destination, and it brought heritage out in all kinds of ways and resulted in major events, commissions, exhibitions. All sorts of things happened. But one of the things that we were involved in as part of that was reaching out to the business community and to local organisations. And by the end of it, we had, something like 130 businesses engaged with the whole overall programme. And a spectacular finale event that included a parade and a night of culture in Stirling Castle.
Okay, so 130 businesses, were they across all sectors, hospitality and other things?
Very wide range of, certainly hospitality businesses very much engaged with that, but it was quite a broad range of food and drink organisations as well, local businesses in Stirling that wanted to be a part of the activities, and then of course the various kind of organisations that support businesses, such as the Chamber of Commerce, etc. So, and we worked very closely with the local bid on the programme, as well as your obvious Historic Environment Scotland, the University of Stirling, etc. So a really wide range of people being engaged, and the legacy of the Stirling 900 is that we wanted to take on some of the events that we had started and build and develop them further, and we wanted to continue that engagement with the business community in terms of culture and its link back to Stirling's heritage.
Great. So that's where the idea came from, Stirling 900. The conversations we've previously had, it kind of feels like a bit like a mini fringe festival, but for Stirling. It's over one night. We're hoping to do this on an annual basis, right?
Yes.
As a concept?
Absolutely. And alongside the work on Stirling 900, Stirling's been working since we were longlisted for UK City of Culture a few years back on a cultural strategy. And one of the key components and one of the key things that Stirling's been trying to work on for many years is the nighttime economy. And this is Culture Night is designed to be a key catalyst from that cultural strategy to try and explore the ways that culture can animate the city in a way that supports the nighttime economy and builds the case for culture being a reason for people to stay in Stirling longer and overnight.
Okay, great. So 1st of May, Bank Holiday weekend, is the big date. It has a theme.
Yes, so we've been inspired by Stirling's kind of history of folklore, heritage, and the first year's theme is Carnival of the Wolf. So then playing into the idea of the wolf in not just in terms of its history with Stirling and its sort of mythology, if you like, but also the idea of coming out to play disguise, that kind of May Day masquerade feel. But we wanted the brief for this to be really open. So there's all kinds of ways that it can be explored. The theme, for those of you who haven't heard of the Stirling wolf, was inspired by this 19th century tale of how the Vikings were attacking the city of Stirling. No, the wolves. The Vikings were attacking the city of Stirling, and then apparently a pack of wolves that were based here alerted the townspeople and saved them from the Viking plunder. And however true that is, it's a story that's stuck, and you can see the wolf inspired even on our architecture. You've got Wolf Craig building. There's the story of the wolves living on Abbey Craig, and there's a rich range of heritage around the wolf. So that is our first theme, and it's a really exciting one. You can kind of go down all kinds of avenues, from looking at rewilding to being as hungry as a wolf, cultural references around wolves and transformation. So hopefully food for all the cultural folk in Stirling to come up with interesting ideas.
Great. Okay. So what's the kind of typical planned structure for the evening of the 1st of May?
So what we're planning to is we're going to have an homage to the first A Night of Culture at the Castle and begin at Stirling Castle. But we're going to bring culture out to play across Stirling, and also we're going to go across the whole Stirling area. So we will see some programme happening out as far as sort of Brigaturk, Killin, and Balquhidder, we're hoping. So you will have some rural programmes. But what we really also want to do is really draw people into the city of Stirling and really get people excited to see spaces that maybe they haven't seen before, see unexpected things in unexpected places. So there will be a program of ticketed events and experiences, and there will be a range of unticketed things that people can enjoy. We're already seeing businesses responding with interesting food offerings that are themed alongside, or drink offerings, and we're seeing spaces opening themselves up for free activities that people can access. So we will see hopefully significant landmarks and buildings that you would normally associate with heritage and history being more playful. You'll see hotels and restaurants and malls and all sorts of things opening themselves up for unusual activities, and we would expect that to be running from about 5 o'clock at the castle, and then things kicking off in the town around 6, all the way up till late. But we're hoping that we're going to keep you up really late doing interesting things.
Is that a Friday?
It is a Friday night.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a great night. It's bank holiday weekend. There's plenty to see and do around Stirling, and you'll be able to finish up your day and go for a really fun night out, and see all kinds of different activities and events. Everything from burlesque to outdoor performance to comedy. And then there's some mainstays of Stirling's cultural offer, such as the creative Stirling speakeasy events that will be connecting up. So we'll expect to see the whole of Stirling alive with culture that night.
That's great, and it's just kind of what the city needs. I think kind of probably just needs that little bit of injection of something different every now and again. So you talked a little bit about kind of venues and business in general, businesses opening their doors. So is there an opportunity still for businesses to get involved in the program?
There is, and I mean, this is a jigsaw of an event. We did a fantastic call out to creatives and communities, and had a ton of ideas and applications. And then what we've got is a series of opportunities for businesses to get involved and host a free event. That could be one of the funded projects, and we're just slotting those jigsaws into place at the moment, but also potentially there is some live music that could be programmed in, and businesses can program their own themed activities, so long as there is a really clear free offer of culture. We're really keen to see businesses keep their doors open really late, and we want to encourage more late night activity and as much as possible. So if there are music opportunities, comedy, any kind of late night performance, DJs, then that's going to help keep people up for longer. There already is a whole raft of around 30 different performing acts already programmed, but there's room for more. And what we're trying to do is work closely with venues to try and offer something that's unusual but fits with what their remit is, what their kind of vibe is, and try and get a night where people will wander through and see an unusual place, or go visit a familiar one and see something completely unexpected.
Great. Okay. So I guess if some local businesses do get involved, is there well, first of all, how do they get involved? Do they contact yourself or through your office, or how do they show their interest?
Well, so we have through the Go Forth Stirling bid circulated a menu, a bid menu of some of the opportunities. But at this stage, I think the easiest thing is to get straight in touch with myself, and then I will link people up with appropriate members of the Stirling Council team or myself. The ways to get involved are to probably get in touch with me via hello@scenestirling.com.
hello@scenestirling.com.
Yes, hello@scenestirling.com. And you can find me as well on 5 to 7 Upper Craigs Street in Stirling. We are open on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for the public, but you can always chap on the door if you want to try and have a quick conversation. I've been popping out to see businesses and have a look at what the spaces are and try and talk to them about what they can offer. Some businesses are interested in the food offering they can do. Some are just interested in getting people through their doors who haven't been. We've got new businesses and really established businesses in touch. And of course, some businesses might be wanting to look for people to stay overnight with them as well. And we're keen to see how we can support with that. As long as there's an interest in doing something that has a free offering, there are opportunities, of course, to then, offer other things that would generate some income as well. And we're seeing people wanting to, really step outside their comfort zone and try something new.
Good. Okay. So I was going to kind of ask that, is there an opportunity for businesses to promote themselves and what have you before the event? And I think the answer is probably yes. If there's a message or there's a theme that they're supporting in some way, like a hotel is a good example. You mentioned overnight accommodation, then, packaging offers for that weekend might be a good idea, for example.
100%. Yeah. Well, so there's a few things happening there. So we obviously have created a Culture Night Stirling brand, and the council's leading on that, and we're working with the comms department. There's lots of opportunities through press, radio, and any other media that we can get the message out there about what venues and businesses are offering on the night. So that will all come as the program is launched. There's opportunities to get involved in sponsorship, and we've had a couple of inquiries around that. And certainly, if there are businesses out there that are looking to, promote themselves through supporting culture, that would be a really great message. And we'd be really keen to hear from them, and I can link them up with council colleagues to support that. And hopefully the marketing and publicity around us will create a map, and we'll get people on the map and businesses on the map, and help them to see inside the businesses and spaces that they haven't. I've been poking my nose into ballrooms and meeting rooms and conference suites and podcast centres. So, it's been really exciting to see new and really, really established businesses all kind of jumping to try and be a part of it, because they want to see a vibrant nighttime economy, but also because they really want to speak to different audiences.
Okay, so good example. What we can do, what we can offer is a platform, so this podcasting platform, to keep on top of those communications, so we can kind of keep the message going in the coming weeks, over the next couple of months until the actual event itself. So on that basis, what does the program rollout look like in terms of announcements, communications?
Right, so there's a sort of soft launch beginning now, and running through the next 2 weeks. We expect to be able to do to a more major announcement on the 11th of March. And we will certainly be announcing at least one headline.
And where will those announcements typically be found?
That will be coming through the council's press and communications mechanisms, so it will be well promoted on social media and also by the toll booth, Albert Halls and Scene Stirling. So we would expect to have a good degree of interest from the press on that, and that will come out publicly. So I think we expect to announce a first cohort of acts and a headline, at least one headline act on the 11th of March. And the headline acts will be at the toll booth and the Albert Halls. So we can expect some ticketed announcements around that very soon. But really excited to see everything from small community arts projects and grass-led activities all the way up to, some really established acts performing on the night to give people a flavour of everything that Stirling has to offer, but also give everyone a platform to shine.
Okay, so we'll maybe get one of your colleagues on towards the end of the month and provide an update in terms of some of the specifics that are going to be hitting us on the 1st of May.
Absolutely, it would be lovely to do that and to share some of the details that are starting to emerge as we pull this really exciting but organic event together.
Yeah, so who knows? I might even, try and become the Wolf of King Street.
Oh, that'd be brilliant! I'll take you up on that. There will certainly be wolves on the day, and you can certainly expect everybody to be wearing masks, costumes. There will be wolves everywhere, and I think that in itself will be quite a spectacle. Yeah. So even people arriving on the streets will see something a bit different about Stirling for Carnival of the Wolf. It will become really literally filled with wolves.
Yeah, it's probably a good time of year as well because you're kind of a month into the tourist season. Mm-hmm. So you're probably going to get a lot of international visitors in town over that period. I remember last year, from a hotel point of view, we had a pretty busy May, actually. It was one of our busiest months throughout the year. So, it'd be a pretty good month to, show Stirling off.
I think Stirling always looks great in May. But I think as well, it's going to be that sort of complete takeover of that city centre with, kind of activities, everything from dance, movement, performance, and interactive digital projects, as well as opportunities to get hands-on. That's going to give everybody a bit of some spectacle, and then something to get their hands into on the night. I really expect people to be surprised by at least some of the things that they see on the night, astonished by some of it, and engaged by as much of it as we can get them engaged in. It's really exciting. It's a very unusual program.
It's very different. It's
also very grassroots-led as well. And I think one of the things that I think makes for a good festival is when you can see that local talent, local ideas, local people have been involved in making it. When we put the call out for this, we didn't know what we were going to get, but people have really responded to this brief and really pulled out all the stops in terms of ideas. So it is going to be a very diverse program. It's going to be representing lots of different communities and lots of different types of people and performing arts experiences. We can expect multicultural art forms. There's going to be a lot there that people can get excited by.
Yeah, that's great, and it builds very nicely on the whole concept that Creative Stirling, Made in Stirling, artists from Stirling, performing arts from Stirling, and the wider Forth Valley, obviously. But it's great to really kind of put Stirling even more on the map from a kind of creative arts perspective.
100%. And I would expect the majority of cultural organisations, of which Stirling boasts many for the size that we are, to be involved in some way or form and bringing something of what they have to offer to the table. So I think it'll be a real treat for anyone who's in the town that night, and hopefully it'll be full.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for coming along, Kevin, and telling us a little bit about the Stirling Culture Night. As I mentioned, we'll bring your colleagues back in sometime soon to continue to unfold unpack the box, if you like, of all the goodies that are to come.
Oh, thank you. And for anyone who is looking to, get in touch, obviously get in touch at hello@scenestirling.com. Or if you're looking to be a punter on the night, yourstirling.com will have all the information.
That's yourstirling.com.
Yes,
yeah, okay.
on the night. But you can also follow the council channels, the Scene Stirling channels, and I'm sure that you'll be seeing wolf themed cultural offers all over the shop pretty soon.
That's great. Well, thank you again.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you again for attending the Stirling Business Podcast. Great to see arts and culture really making a difference in the city centre of Stirling. So thank you to Kevin for coming along today to talk to us about the Stirling Culture Night, scheduled for the 1st of May 2026. So hope to see you all there.